Oh, hey, man. What's up?
You think you're so hot. Well, I don't think you're hot at all. I think you suck. Suck.
All right. Game must have gone pretty well. Low quality fans of a high quality Bruins team. That is a dub. 7-0-1. Not a bad start. And not to start on a negative note here, because I shouldn't, right? It's 7:30 a.m. right now. Just got done watching the game. Had a late night. Missed it. We're out partying. So I get up at 5 a.m. with the dogs. I turn on the game. And I love what I see. But the past couple of days, since the loss to the Ducks, which I get it, that loss was a kick in the balls. But when did we get so bitter, so unrealistic, and forgetful of the fact, and stick with me on this one, this is entertainment, baby. This is supposed to be fun, is it? Normally not. No, it normally is fun. The losses suck. No one likes losing. And you feel like you're part of the team, right? The fan base is part of the team. And so when you lose, you take it personal. And I get that. I get that. Trust me, those emotions happen in here. But after that loss, the Doomers came out in full force. 6-0-1 to start, with one real bad collapse with under 2 minutes to go. Regular season game in October. We know for a fact that those collapses happen across the league like every other week. It just happens. It does. It happens. Why are we so upset, I should say, that we believe the team sucks because of that? 6-0-1 at that time. You can't just assume the team's bullshit after one overtime loss against a bad team. I get it. The Ducks are not great. I think they're pretty fun to watch, but they're not amazing. But come on. What are we doing? The Doomers just really came out in full force, and it bothered me. It legitimately bothered me, because if you had asked me before the season, in fact, we said this on the Short Shift podcast, check it out if you don't already. But we predicted the first month, 9 games in the first month. And I said, hey, if we get 6 wins out of the first month, this is great. We set expectations all year long for this team, all offseason long, I should say, as, who knows, right? We still don't really know, but this is a retooling year, a bridge year. We're figuring things out. If you gave me 6 wins in the first month of the season, A+! A+! And we had already gotten that 6 in a row. And then we blew a lead to the Ducks. Not only that, there is a very vocal part of the fan base all of a sudden that hates the goalie hug. Ugh, how dare they? Right? What? Just because you don't like it, if you're not entertained by it, shut the fuck up. Who cares? Not to be rude, but you do realize there's a whole group of fans who really enjoy that moment. Why? Just leave it alone. Do you know what I really dislike? And it sounds ridiculous. I hate the ceremonial puck drop before every game. Every game. I think it's obnoxious. But I don't complain about it because there's people who really enjoy seeing that stuff. For some reason, it doesn't click with me. That's not the entertainment value for me. Right? Guys, let other fans enjoy things. I've seen people pour out about, so Steen got called up, which we're going to talk about. And there's a whole part of the fan base that loves Steen. They love prospects. They get excited about fourth line guys, third pair guys, backup goaltenders, because it's entertainment, because they have fun with it. They get obsessed with these bridge guys, these bubble guys, these guys that might never make a career in the NHL, and they get really, really pumped for them because they see them as an underdog who could take the next step. That's exciting for a lot of people. And then you have people criticizing them for, hey, why do you like this player so much? Because it's fun to root for an underdog. I don't know why we're starting to gatekeep and judge fans for certain things. If the team does something where there's a bunch of fans who enjoy it, but there's some fans who don't, guess what? They're going to keep it because it's entertainment. And again, I don't want to sound so bitter early this morning. I'm already rambling on about this, but guys, wake up. Let people enjoy things. It's okay. And I do get it. A lot of you who put in the comments that, like, I don't like the goalie hug or aren't asking for it not to be a thing. Like, some of you just simply like, not my bag. That's a totally appropriate reaction. But the people who are, like, judging others for enjoying it or asking for it to be removed or calling it all sorts of weird stuff, guys, grow up, man. Just grow up. It doesn't have to always be exactly the way you want it. So, quit your tantrums. This team is 7-0-1 right now. But more importantly, we're 7-0-1, and let's talk about the team we just played. They were 5-2-1 over the first 8 games coming into this one, and it's exactly what Detroit fans needed to see, man. With all the offseason acquisitions and the Yeiser plan doubt, I don't know if there's a lot of doubt in that fan base, but they certainly seem to be getting, okay, we need a step forward eventually, and it looks like this could be the season. It's very early, but a 5-2-1 start with the best offense in the league to start is a pretty good start. Is it sustainable? Absolutely not. Detroit fans don't need it to be, though. Not to this level. The team's shooting percentage is in the high teens right now. I don't know about after this last game, but last time I checked, it was like 19%. The Oilers led the league last year with their team's shooting percentage south of 12%. Unsustainable. Their power play is humming at 38%. Last year's Oilers, to use them as an example again, broke the NHL record for best success rate on the power play through a full season at 32.4%. Some things are going to even out here. But even if they even out to a dramatic level, you still have a top 10 offense and power play in the league. Again, we're very early, but I think Detroit fans will take that. Defensively, they're just meh. They're not great. Their defense is really fun when it's in the ozone. But if you can get meh defense, decent defense, top half of the league, like 15th defense, then you're going to be fine when the offense is humming. Goaltending has been interesting for them. Reimer has a .939 save percentage through his 3 starts. Awesome. Husso has an .893. Not awesome. But if you average that out, if you can get consistent .910, .915 save percentage between your goalies, it just seems like Detroit's going to be a real pain in the ass team to play. And once again, Detroit fans aren't asking for a juggernaut right now. They're asking for a team that's taken a step forward. This is exactly what they wanted to see. Before we get into the Bruins aspect of the preview, I want to, say thank you again to all the people who have joined the membership on YouTube. And then B, the Centennial Night was really neat. We had a bunch of family members from families who have affected the franchise over the years, which I thought was nice. Again, it's not really my bag, that kind of stuff, but it was nice to see. I do want to take a moment to just, contemplate the awful tragedy that happened not that many hours ago in London. 29-year-old Adam Johnson had a severe cut on his neck through a collision on the ice, and he has passed away. It's a freak accident, but it's a reminder that the game these guys play is extremely dangerous. Thoughts go out to Adam Johnson's family, obviously, his teammates, and the team that was playing him, the fans in the building, everybody. That's a really hard thing to see. Obviously, it's hardest on Johnson and his family, but just to all of them, thoughts are with them, and just a reminder that this stuff is dangerous, and that these guys put a lot on the line for us to sit here and criticize. And I'm a culprit of that, but just something to keep in mind. And I hope everyone kind of sees if there's anything we can do. I don't know if they have any funds up or anything like that. I'm not sure about that yet, but just keep that kind of stuff in mind and hold your family close. You know, I gotta call my mom. But let's talk about this team, shall we? This is a weird opening to a video, but the Bruins teased us with news that Brown and Boquist were sent down and Lohrei and Zaboral came up. These are just paper transactions, just for cap space reasons. I'm not going to go into the details of that. But Lucic was placed on the LTIR, meaning he can't play for a minimum of 10 games, but they can do it retroactively. So I think he's already missed 3, maybe 4. So it's really just another couple of weeks, but he is week to week right now. They're guessing 2 to 3 weeks out. And the fourth line, I will admit, I need to admit, you got to admit when you're wrong, has looked very different without Lucic there. Has looked very different, and not in a good way. So I'm looking forward to him returning. What a pivot, right? What a 180. Good for him. God, I'm so glad this is working out better than I thought. Steen was recalled from Providence, though, because Lauko, of course, remains still out with his facial fracture that looks gnarly. Gnarly. This is the 600th game for Pastrnak, which is awesome. The top 9 is going to remain the same. I don't know why on the graphic it has the Coyle line as second line and Patra line as the third, because it doesn't really play out that way. But the fourth line is brand new. You have Beecher on the left side, Brown in the middle, Steen on the right. Why the fuck is Brown running this line, man? The coaching staff must really like some of the stuff he's bringing, because yeesh. Defensively, we remain the same with a Grizz, Mac, Lindholm, Carlo, Forbort, Shattenkirk, which I'm really comfortable with right now. I'd still like for us to improve over the Forbort position. Shattenkirk, I think, has been really good, and Forbort's been solid enough. I don't want to say that he hasn't been solid. I just would still like for an improvement there. Swayman is going to continue his unbelievable start to the season. Coming into this game, he was 3-0-0, a 1.34 goals allowed average, which would go down, and a 957 save percentage, which he would match in this game. Hot start for him. Completely ridiculous. But let's talk about this game, shall we? Puck drops! Oh my gosh, you commented, and subscribed right at that moment. That was gorgeous. Well done. Quick fingers. Great energetic start by the Bruins. Exactly what a lot of us wanted to see after such a terrible ending to the Ducks game 2 nights ago. And it's almost undone by poor decision making, as McAvoy, 4 minutes in, is directly in front of Swayman. And he's going to try to maneuver past a attacker. And he maneuvers past the first one, but loses the puck on the move, and it gives DeBrincat a wide open chance in the slot 6 feet out from Swayman, and Swayman just shrugs it away, just smacks that down. He's so calm, cool, collected. Swayman looks great right now. I mean, wow. We're going to split all season long outside of something drastic happening, but there is one goalie that's hotter than the other, and it's by this much margin because Ullmark is also phenomenal right now, and if it weren't for the Bruins completely letting him down the other night, then his stats would continue to be right up there with Swayman's. We are going to have to kill something early. We're 6:08 in, and it's a huge save by Swayman that springs a transition of a 4-on-2 the other way. Pasta will get the chance from the left dot. Save made by Husso, but McAvoy gets called for interference on the way there. I don't even think the goal would have counted. I think they called it right before the shot. Excellent kill, though. The penalty kill is brilliant. 8:50 in. Patra gets fucking buried by Rasmussen. Directly after Rasmussen got buried by Shattenkirk. So in my brain, my caveman brain, I went, oh, you got buried by the 12-year vet or whatever Shattenkirk is. Better go after the 19-year-old rookie, you absolute plebeian. It's not how that worked out. Rasmussen was looking to lay a big hit after getting knocked down. Patra was in his eyes, and I don't think Patra spun at the last second. This was full numbers. Had this been an injury, this would have been a 5-minute major. I really dislike that it basically has to injure a guy for it to be a major call, because unless I'm mistaken, and I should watch it again, that looked like a 5-minute major to me. That was full numbers, about 3 feet from the boards, getting his head right into the boards. Obviously, Patra jumps right up because that's kind of what he does. The whole team jumps Rasmussen immediately. They are very, very protective of this kid. Point to be made. This is going to be a 40-minute video if I keep making points. Point to be made. A lot of people like to tell me that Lucic-esque guys are necessary to protect the guys on his line. I agree in the sense where they jump in to defend a guy quickly. That I'll agree on. But what I won't agree on, I haven't agreed on in years, it doesn't prevent the first hit. Ever. Ever. It doesn't. We've talked about this with Patra and how Geeky on the line helps that. And they're still taking runs at Patra every single game. And he's dodging a lot of them. But this is like the fourth game in a row that he's taken one big hit and someone has jumped in immediately. But it doesn't prevent the hit that usually is the injury causer. And I just feel like that's a concept that a lot of people don't agree with. It doesn't make people hesitate. It doesn't. With the way the world currently works, it might have made people hesitate in the past. I would believe that. But it just feels like people still take runs at the rookie with no hesitation, and then all right, I'll pay the price however I need to pay it. It's why I'm just not a subscriber to the whole we need to bring in the Reeves types guys. If you don't have an impact on the ice to win the hockey game, you don't need to be on the team. Now, Lucic has that impact. His playmaking on the fourth line and third line throughout the season so far has been really nice. I thought he's been very responsible with the puck. There's all sorts of positive things to say about him. But if we had a guy on the ice that was simply there to goon it up, I mean, the game's moved too far away from it. Luckily, we make him pay for it, because on this power play, which looked great, by the way, 100 seconds into it, and it's all constant pressure. And it's all going to come together as Hall, below the goal line, gets disturbed by JVR just enough to make the clearing attempt actually to skitter right to Pasta, who's in that left circle. He's going to go across the crease, fling this right across the slot to Marchand, not crease, slot. Marchand is going to fire this in on net. The ensuing battle allows Zacha to find a loose puck and pump it past Huso for a 1-0 power play goal. Zacha, you talk about King of Ping, is going to need these open nets at moments to show up on the score sheet like that. He's not finding his shot right now. That's the type of player he is. It is not the end of the world, but that's a huge goal when you've got guys battling in front that dirty areas. You take the lead 1-0. After a start where you deserve it, honestly. 5:24 left. What the McAvoy. It's a centennial night, and he's like, I know, let's do something iconic. Let's do something iconic. Is it as iconic as a Game 4 Stanley Cup clinching goal? No. No, it's not. But it's an excellent shift by the fourth line, maintaining the puck and possession in the offensive zone. The puck ends up getting moved around to the right wall where McAvoy jumps on it. Nice pinch here. And he sees that the defender is just a half step behind. And he's going to go right around him, get to the goal line, and parallel to it, go right into the crease. And as he gets there, he just pushes this into the 5-hole. I'm not sure how it squeaked through, but it squeaked through. You've got multiple guys in front of him, Steen and Brown, I want to say, in front of Huso, battling with the other defenders, keeping them off McAvoy, allowing him to do this in the first place. And the puck doesn't even trickle over the line until McAvoy is in the opposite circle on his belly. Just dove through, got it on net, it squeaked through, and it's 2-0! Iconic. Iconic. 5:04 left. Kopp is going to go for high sticking. We're going to the power play. What a backbreaker it would have been to score here. We did not. We nearly did. Zacha got two primo chances with what looked like an open net and wasn't able to get him to go. And then the puck bounces to Marchand, who has Huso down in front of him, but no one could get any real wood on it. Giggity. So it's going to stay 2-0. We're going to move on. No dice. 1:17 left. Zacha's going to go for holding. 31 seconds left. Larkin's going to go for high sticking. So it's 4v4 for a $1.14 with a very quick power play after that. And the second period is going to be real quick because we start. It's 4v4 for 45 seconds. Then a quick power play. No dice on that. 5:51 in. Hall with another bad play. Tripping on DeBrusque. Go to the power play. No dice. Power play looks good though. 9:55 left. Steen for hooking. Killed it. 3:20 left. Frederick for high sticking. I put high ticking. Killed it. And then the final shift of the period was a Patra exhibition. That's the whole period. It was just penalties and then back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. Not a ton of shots, not a ton of chances. There was a nice little Zaka moment where he goes a mile off the corner, just tried to backhand it. He's 4 feet from Huso and just misses by a lot. But the last shift was the most impressive part. Patra, skill, and vision set up 3 different shots on this shift, retrieved pucks, skated through guys. He's gaining confidence, attacking the defenders. Brilliant. Oh, just brilliant. 2-0 going into the third. Did anyone get nervous? Did anyone get nervous going into the third? What about after they scored? We're about 6 minutes in, just 6:40 in, something like that. And they're working their asses off. And they, I mean Red Wings, are working their asses off to get on the board. And they get rewarded for it. Coyle goes out of the zone. He skates it out. He got it out of the zone. That's what we want. But it quickly gets kicked away from his stick. And Velino just grabs this. And when you're on a heater, you're on a heater. He just skates right into Carlo. Does a little bit of fancy stick handling right in front of Carlo. Kind of disrespectful. And then creates a little space as he sidesteps to the left. And just sniper Rooney and jeez! Top glove corner. 2-1. I'm not even mad. That was gorgeous. Yeah, you want Carlo to take away the scoring chance. But this was brilliant. It was a great handling, great shot, great vision, good speed. Like, sometimes NHL players are just really fucking good at hockey, and I can't really dunk on the defenseman for not being able to stop that one, or the goaltender for that matter. That was awesome. What I am mad about is the next 4 minutes being absolutely caved in by the Red Wings. We have a 1-goal lead. You can't respond to a goal like that. You got to dig deep. At 9:14 left, Swayman is just going to take a whistle just to get a breather. And Sherratt and Forbort will tussle. They'll each go for 2 minutes. So we're going to go 4-4 for a bit. 30 seconds into this 4-4, Pasta gets a breakaway. And he gets slashed on the hands. And he's going to get rewarded a penalty shot. And you want to talk about disrespectful. To casually just sweep into the slot, right between the dots. And as soon as he hits that point, I think people were expecting him to just shoot, honestly. He's done a lot of that, of just, pick my spot, nail it. Nope. He, blistering speed, goes backhand. And Huso immediately is like, shit, backhand. And just as fast takes it back to the forehand. A very simple move, but the execution is brilliant. Sometimes the simplest moves, if the execution is as clean as possible, it doesn't matter how simple it is. It works. Brings it right back to the forehand. Huso goes, fuck! And he just spreads out, and Pasta roofs it right over him. I think he farted on the way past just a little. That was rude. It was rude and disrespectful. 3-1. Felt like game to me, and boy, was it. Red Wings would push back, though. They really, really would. 2:19 left, though. Pasta, it's an empty net. He's going to collect the puck in the slot of our zone. I hated this. And I know a lot of you don't love how Pasta acts when the net is empty, and him even being on the ice, because defensively he's not good. But he's in the middle of our slot with the puck. And he did exactly what Zaka did to basically lose us the game against the Ducks. Not literally, but he held it, looked up, and just 2 full seconds with it on his stick. And you're just waiting for the stick lift, the strip, and the shot on Swayman. But it doesn't come. And so he just casually clears it to the left wall. It bounces off, then slowly drifts into the net from 170 feet. And that's an empty net goal. It's 4-1. The man just scores goals. What can you say? The man just knows how to put the puck in the net. And that's your game. Game notes! After the game, Montgomery was asked about Patra's status because Cam Neely said we'll know after 8 games. Is he coming or is he going? And Monty said, and I quote, we haven't made a decision. We're going to wait until the 9th game. He's playing great. Isn't the answer already there? Didn't you just say it? Hey, he's been great through 8 games. What, so if he has a bad 9th, you're sending him down? I mean, who are we bluffing for? I get it. Keep Keep him motivated. I get it. If it was me, personally, I'd say, yeah, he's sticking around. And if he completely blows it in the 9th game because you said that, you look at him and go, if that's how you're going to react to feeling secure on this team, you've got more maturing to go. And you send him down and you tell everyone that. You go, I wanted to see how he'd respond to us being positive and giving him some security. And if you just listlessly go through the next game, well, we learned that lesson, didn't we? Obviously, the real world doesn't work like that, but who are we being cagey for here? Really? Who's your other option for the second line center? Other than this kid who at 19 years old is maybe playing the best out of any center on the team right now? I think Zacha's been really good. I really do. But Patra's been so creative that he's right there. He's literally right there. I don't want to say one way or another, but the fact that it's even a debate feels pretty massive to me. He's staying in the NHL, obviously. Other game notes, the penalty kill has been so good. Number 1 in the league right now, operating at a 97%. Obviously, that's going to dip after some time, but just so fantastic. In fact, we have a goal scorer who's in like the top 5 of goals scored or something like that. We have a defenseman who's top 12 in scoring and looks to be taking the next step this year, which is another game note, by the way. I wouldn't be surprised if McAvoy crushes his career high of 56 points this year. We have 2 goaltenders in the top 10 in goals saved above expected, in save percentage, in you name it. These guys are up there. Defensively, we're number 1 in the league, I believe, right now. There's so much about this team that's still such high level, which brings me to my last point. This is exactly what I mean by we don't know what the team is. I was told by a lot of people that once we play a good team, we're going to see how outmanned we are. Well, I consider the Red Wings, although not like a contender, a good team. I consider them a good team. We should, with the way they started. And we not only won, but I would argue we won pretty handily and deserved to win. Were there some close calls? They almost tied it in the third, posting out. I didn't even talk about that because we are already at 30 minutes. But I just don't know what the team's going to be. And then everyone told me that the team's beating up on bad competition, but they're not good. And then we just won our first real challenge of the season. I think people have this funny habit, and I think I have this funny habit, where if a team has an easy schedule, I just assume they're not that good, right? Especially after an off season like this. Yeah, you're 6-0-1 through 7, but you haven't played anyone. But the opposite could also be true, where it's, hey, you haven't played anyone, but you're also really good. And you keep winning all those games, right? At a certain point, we kind of have to consider that. It's still too early for me to say if we know what this team is, in my opinion. I think we're still a few weeks away from being confident one way or another for a couple of aspects, particularly offensively, power play. I think the lines might still need a little tinkering. God, we need another top 6 guy. We genuinely really do. Can you imagine how many assists Patra would have if he had line mates who could finish? No offense to DeBrusk, who's just, I think he's playing well, but struggling to find that finish right now. And Geeky is, he's just not what I would consider that guy. Hard to see Patra not having 8 or 9 points at this point if he just had some line mates who are finishing on some of the chances he's getting them. Because he's getting them a lot of chances. I actually like the fact that they're not putting Marchand with him, though, because when that line, I went back and watched some of it, Marchand and Patra are too similar in the ways they operate, and it actually works against their chemistry. Meaning, they're both very good with board battles, leveraging their size and creating for others. But you have 2 guys who focus on the creation aspect and neither one pulling the trigger enough. I don't think it works super well. just the way they play together. I think they're both great players. I just don't see that working. If you could get him with, I mean, I would keep DeBrusk with him. I don't have a problem with that, and have DeBrusk like maybe shake off some of this bad luck. But if you could get him one more guy who can really pull the trigger, has some heat behind his shot, maybe a guy who's more of a standstill type. Not that I love that, but when you have your Pastrnak types who's just like, hey, this is going to be my 12 feet right here. Just get the puck over here somewhere on my stick. And if he had one more guy like that while him and DeBrusk buzz around the zone retrieving pucks, I feel like that would pay dividends. But hey, we don't have it, so we don't have it. Merkulov. I haven't looked at how Merkulov has started the season. I have no clue if this is even something that he can consider. Lysell. No, again, none of the other guys in the AHL right now are ready for the next pop. All right, guys, it does it for me. Like, comment, subscribe. Nailed it. Thanks again for joining the membership program. And go Bees. Go